She was 23 years old, and in her sleep she saw her own death. In the dream she stood on a strange mountain. The sea below her had turned to crystal, and in the water 27 red lotus flowers, falling one by one, withering as they fell. When she woke, she wrote down what she saw. She called it a poem, but 4 years later, it became a prophecy. This is the story of Heo Nan-seol-heon, the woman who predicted her own death, then ordered everything she ever wrote to be burned. She was born into one of the most powerful families in Joseon. Scholars, writers, men who shaped the kingdom's politics. Her father led one of the most influential factions at court. Her brothers, two of the greatest writers of their generation. And in this house, something unusual happened. The daughters were taught to read, to write, to think. At age 8, she wrote a poem. In it, she imagined herself invited to a palace that didn't exist, a palace in the world of immortals. The scholars who read it could not believe a child had written it. Her name was Heo. History would remember her by another name, Heo Nan-seol-heon. But she was born in the 1500s, in a kingdom where a woman who could read was already considered dangerous. Later in life, she wrote down 3 regrets. She called them 3 curses. The first being born in Joseon, the second being born a woman, the third being married to the wrong man, a man named Kim Seong-rip. 3 sentences, and inside them, her entire life. The third curse was the one that broke her. Her husband resented her talent. The more her poems were praised, the more he stayed away. In a house where even noble women weren't taught to write, her mother-in-law saw a daughter-in-law who wrote poetry and did not understand her at all. She lived inside that house like a stranger, recognized by no one, needed by no one. Writing was the only door still open to her, but even that door was closing. Then the losses began. Her father died, far from home. Then her daughter, gone, to disease. Then her son, the same disease, the same year. And the child she was carrying, she lost as well. She stood before 2 small graves, and for the first time in her life, the words wouldn't come. This was no longer the grief of a poet. This was a woman with nothing left to lose. With nothing left in this world, she began to drift toward another one. In her dreams, she climbed a mountain called Gwangsangsan, a place that exists only in legend, a place where immortals live. And there, she wrote down what she saw. 27 red lotus flowers falling, turning cold on the frost in the moonlight. But here is where it gets strange. In the original text, the number wasn't written as 27. It was written as 3 nines. 3 times 9. 27. At the time she wrote this poem, she was 27 years old. Was this a coincidence? A poem written by a mind already breaking? Or did she already know, somehow, that 27 flowers meant 27 years. Before she died, she gave one final instruction: burn everything I have ever written. Officially, the records say she died of illness. But there is another story: that she stopped eating, that she chose the day. Witnesses said that before she died, she bathed. She put on clean clothes. She said goodbye to her family, one by one. Was this a woman accepting death, or a woman choosing it on her own terms? At exactly 27. Her last wish was fire, and for a moment it was granted. But her younger brother had collected and memorized her poems. Word for word, he restored them all. Those poems crossed the sea, to Ming China, to Japan. Scholars there read her work and asked, how did a genius like this exist in Joseon? The voice her own family had silenced was now being read across an entire continent. In 27 years, she wrote thousands of poems, thousands of flowers, but she never lived to see her own spring. Maybe those 27 lotus flowers weren't a warning. Maybe they were a wish to leave this world of pain and finally reach the one she had always dreamed of. So today, how should we remember her? Not as a tragedy, but as a woman who, even in a world built to silence her, found a way to be heard.